Okay folks, here's some hints for homework sheet 1. The first question is one of our compound interest problems, so we need to work out the multiplier. And remember how we work out the multiplier is we add or subtract the percentage from 100. Since the value of the painting is increasing by 5%, it's going to be 100 plus 5, 105%. Remember, we turn that to a decimal, and then we do your new decimal to the power, and the power is going to be the number of years, which in this case is 7, times the starting amount to get your answer. Question 2, we've got to find the area and the perimeter. Now let's deal with the area first of all. The area of a triangle is half the base times the height. So for this example, that's going to be a half times, and the base is 3.5 times the height is 8 4/5. Now before you can multiply these fractions, what we need to do is we need to turn these mixed numbers into top heavy fractions. And the way that we do that is we do the 2 times the 3 and then add on the 1. So 2 times 3 is 6, add on the 1 is 7/2 times. Then do the same thing over here. The 5 times the 8, add the 4 to give you this new fraction. We do any cancelling that needs to be done, and we get our final answer. For the perimeter, then we just need to add up all the sides. So that's 9 1/10 added to 8 4/5 added to 3 1/2. When we're adding fractions, the first thing we do is we deal with the whole numbers. So the 9, the 8 and the 3, we add them together to make 20. Then we deal with the fractions, and this time we need to get a bottom number which is common to all the fractions. So what's the first number in the 10 times, 5 times and 2 times table? What's the lowest common denominator between all of those? And hopefully we know it's 10. So we change those to 10, do the adding up sum, and we get our final answer. Question 3, the fake tan. How many girls wore fake tan last year? That means it's one of these reverse percentage questions. So same as question 1, find the multiplier. So that's either adding or subtracting from 100%. Because it's a reduction, then we have to take off the 30%, turn that into a decimal, and this time because it's a reverse percentage question, we're not going to do a multiply, we're going to be a divide. So it's the original amount divided by your decimal number gives your answer. Question 4, simplify the surds. We have root 24. So we need to find 2 square roots that go in there, one of them being a square number. 4 times 6, that makes 24. Because 4 is a square number, then that becomes 2 root 6, and that's it finished. Don't have to do anything else with it. You can do B in the same way. Question 5, simplify. Now remember, we've got rules that say x to the power p times x to the power q is x to the p add q, and x to the power p divided by x to the power q is x to the power p minus q. So when we're doing the example x to the power 4 times x to the power 7 over x to the power 3, then we know what we're going to do with the powers on the top, we know what we're going to do with the power on the bottom, and that should then give us the answer as x to the power, well, you can work that out. For the ones that involve numbers, like part C for example, now part C says 5a cubed times 2a to the negative 1. I'm not going to do that one. Let me do instead 3p to the power 4 times 5p to the power 6. I would do the 3 times the 5 first of all to get 15, and then I would do the 4, and because it's a time sum, add 6 gives us p to the power 10. Okay, that's not the answer. You do the blue question. And finally, question 6. The flea is 1.08. The question tells us the Asian elephant is so many times bigger, so it tells us it's a time sum. So we need to do 1.08 times 5 times 10 to the power 6. And remember, on your calculator, we do that kind of sum by using the EXP button, or in some calculators it's the EE button. Okay, do not use the times 10 to the power x button. You're going to get the wrong answer. Okay, the 10 to the power x button. Use the EE or the EXP button, and that should help.